It's time for another film room, and on this episode, I'm going to take a look at Nebraska receiver Trey Palmer. Now, if you're not familiar with these, what I like to do is I like to highlight a player of some clips from their games just to showcase the type of prospect that he is. And in this case, we're looking at Nebraska's Trey Palmer, who just a couple weeks ago set a single game record for most receiving yards in their loss to Purdue. And there's been a lot of talk, especially around Husker Nation, about where Trey Palmer fits potentially in the NFL draft. And so that's what we're going to look here. I'm going to show clips from their game against Purdue, their game against Rutgers, to kind of showcase the type of prospect that he is and what he could potentially be in the NFL. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the tape. Now, if you're not familiar with Trey Palmer, the first thing you have to know is he's been a big vertical threat for the Huskers. His ability to get deep on a game-in and game-out basis has allowed the Huskers to produce a lot of big-time plays and for him to rack up the yards. And as we see in this first clip, he's just got that ability, that deep speed. He's an elite athlete, transfer from LSU, who was a good kick return, punt returner for the Tigers. This year at Nebraska, he has translated that speed to the offense, and against Purdue, he just crushed them. Deep ball after deep ball, just using his speed to get behind defensive backs and give Casey Thompson someone to throw the ball to. Now, the thing about Palmer is that he's just got this ability, he isn't this dynamic in and out of cuts. He's just able to use his smooth running ability. He's a smooth athlete and his speed to get by. So here he kind of plays it slow off the line, and then he's able to just turn on the jets to blow past this defensive back. There's not a lot of nuance to it in this case. He did angle like he was going to go to the outside, maybe on an out-based route, but it's just his ability, his pure speed, that ability to hesitate and then turn on the jets allows him to, like I said in the previous clip, just get behind and run away from defensive backs. This poor cornerback was just nowhere in any position. He's playing, thinking, oh, hey, underneath zone. Oh, crap, I got to go run with him deep. The safety was pulled too far inside, and this was an easy, long touchdown pass and catch for the Huskers. Now, it's one thing for Palmer just to straight up run past defenders. He does show more than that, and there is some nuance to his route running, especially deep. Here against Rutgers, he's going to be at the bottom of the screen, and he's going to end up running a post route on this play. And at the snap of the ball, he angles like he's going to go outside and go down the sideline, and he gets that defender moving that way, and then he's able to cut inside of him to get that inside leverage, then turn on the jets to get this post for the touchdown. And it's just that ability to kind of push to the outside, turn the corner. So, he's already got the speed that he can beat you deep, but then you got the fact that you get the defender turning, and then he can turn on those jets to get past him. And there's a reason why he is winning down the field at an alarming rate against defenses, because he's able to make you move and then run right past you. We see another example here. Palmer lines up predominantly in the slot. And so what he's going to do, he's going to get past this nickel defender who's got to give him a cushion because of his speed. But he's able to push like he's going to go down the middle, get that defender moving that way, and then put a foot down and blow past him there. Now, the ball didn't go that way, but it just shows his ability. Once again, he gets the defender moving one way, gets him leaning, and then is able to turn on the jets and accelerate to get past them, to get deep. Now, Palmer's not just a run under the catch type deep threat. He does show the ability to adjust and be able to go get the ball. Here against North Dakota, and this was a theme a lot with Casey Thompson, he underthrows him. But as we see here, Palmer's able to see that this ball is underthrown. He tracks the ball well. It's one thing to track the ball and go run under it, but he sees that this ball is underthrown. He's able to slow down and then reach up and high point this ball and hold on to it as he goes to the ground. And it's just this ability that, hey, not only can I run under these deep balls that are thrown perfectly, but I can adjust, and I love receivers that can go up and high point the ball. Go get that ball in the air, get it above a defender, and Palmer shows that on this play right here. Now, because Palmer's got elite speed and the ability to win over the top, that allows him to set up his short and underneath type routes. And Palmer, I think, does a fairly good job of that. He's not going to be this in and out of breaks type of guy, but he understands how to use that speed. And here against Rutgers, facing off against the slot defender, he's going to push like he's going deep. And this looks like a normal, any of the previous clips that I showed you of him running a vertical route. And he's going to push deep, but right here at the stem, he's able to put this foot down and burst outside. And he's got room out there. The ball wasn't placed the best spot, because as we look right here, he's got room. This defender's still moving back. That ball's out in front of him. He's running for this first down. But instead, it's up high. He once again shows his ability to go up and win a contested catch, come down with the ball. But this just shows, use that speed, use that threat of speed deep to create separation on your underneath routes. We see another example of that here against Purdue. He's down at the bottom of the screen in the slot. Look how far back this defender is. Clearly they've been burned several times by Trey Palmer, and he's able to use this to his advantage. He's going to run about a 10-yard, 7-yard, 8-yard in-breaking route, and he's able to just push deep, get this nice little cushion, and just roll it inside. He didn't have to have a sharp cut because he's not in a contested situation. He's got a nice cushion, just run to the sticks, get open, find that soft area, and make that catch to get the first down. And it's all because of his threat of the speed, and knowing that he's got this cushion, he's going to push that guy deep even more and just curl it right underneath for an easy first down. Now, while a majority of Palmer's routes are him, running quick or deep vertical routes, making sharp, quick, fast cuts, and then kind of using those to set him up underneath, he did show right here that he's got some ability to create some separation in the short area. So here against Purdue, he's in the slot at the top of the screen, and this is in the red zone. He's going to stutter step right here. So he's going to look to freeze this slot defender, and then he uses it to break inside, make this catch, and get another first down. And it's just this ability. He froze him. With his speed, with his explosiveness, they have to honor him. And he was able to freeze him enough, make a quick move. It wasn't a super explosive move to the inside, but a quick enough move to the inside to get open and move the chains. Now, because of Palmer's speed, you're going to want to use him in a variety of ways to take advantage of that speed. And we've seen so far his ability to win down the field. But what about in the short area? Here, he's going to just use a shallow drag. Look at all that open space that he's in. They're able to get the ball out in front. He goes up and gets it, and then can use that speed after the catch to get extra yards, get down the field. And it's just that ability, put him in space, put him in a short area. He's been going deep, run him shallow, get the ball to him, and let him do his work. Another example of that is here against Purdue. They're going to run him on a little reverse, get the ball into your best playmaker's hands, and let him go. He finds it, this nice crease, and you can see his punt return ability, his kick return ability. Like I said, he had that success at LSU, hasn't had much of a chance at Nebraska, but we see it here. He gets the ball, his ability to find a lane and then exploit it, use that speed to break through, and if it wasn't for this guy coming on from the other side and cutting him off, he would have had yet another touchdown. There is a lot to like about Trey Palmer as a receiver, as a potential NFL draft prospect. He's only technically a junior, and he still has one more year of eligibility, so who knows if or when he will go to the NFL. But I think he's a guy that's definitely going to be on the NFL roster. He's got good size, 6'1", 190 pounds. He looks a lot bigger than that size. He to me looked like someone that's like 6'2", over 200 pounds. And plus he plays bigger. We saw his ability to go up, and 6'1's not a small receiver by any stretch of the means. I think sometimes we think of big receivers, they have to be 6'4", 6'5". Over 6 foot is still a bigger receiver. But you combine his size, you combine his speed, and he's got the makings for an NFL receiver. Now, I don't think he's going to be a number one receiver. I don't think he's going to be drafted super early in the NFL draft, and maybe I'm going to eat my words, and that's fine. I'd be glad to. To me, he seems like a late round pick and a guy that teams view as a potential number 3 receiver and a key special teams guy. Like I said, he's got experience returning kicks. He's got experience returning punts. He can play in the slot. He can play on the out. He's got a lot of different versatility to his game. And like I said, and we've seen, he can win deep. And I think a player to kind of keep an eye on to compare to him might be a guy like the Bears, Darnell Mooney. Mooney was a 5th-round pick out of Tulane. Now he's the Bears' number 1 receiver. He's probably, a true number 2 in this league, but he's going out there making plays. Now, Mooney's 5'11", 172 pounds. Trey Palmer's a bigger type receiver. So I know in Husker Nation, I've heard people say, there's talk he could be a 2nd-round pick. I don't see that. I'd love to see him get drafted that high. But to me, I think he's kind of maybe a 4th, 5th type round pick. A guy that's got a lot of traits and can be a successful NFL receiver. But I just don't know if teams will view him as a number 1 or a number 2. And so that's why he kind of gets pushed down. And yeah, he has good speed, but it's not Henry Ruggs speed. It's not Jalen Waddle speed. It's not Tyreek Hill speed. He's not quite to that level. And so I think when you're kind of one-dimensional like he kind of is, you have to have that elite trait. I think he's just got a very good trait. And so that's why I think he falls a little bit in the draft when that comes. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the Trey Palmer Film Room. If you like these, the best way to get them is to subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all your notifications. Make sure you're subscribing so you can get all of my content, much more videos like this. While you're out there, follow me on social media, draft_Brian. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time.